Sit down. And for once in your life, look uppy. For 100 years, you in the West have lived with a God complex. You believe that air superiority was your birthright. You spent trillions on F-35s, B-2 bombers, and massive aircraft carriers, thinking that as long as you owned the stratosphere, you owned the world. The Eastern algorithm just performed a remote wipe on that entire doctrine. While your defense contractors were busy lobbying for billion-dollar contracts that take 20 years to deliver, a small team in Shenzhen was perfecting the sovereign eye. DJI didn't just make a drone. They democratized godlike perspective. They took the power of a multi-million-dollar spy satellite and shrunk it into the backpack of a teenager. I'm dropping a value bomb into your pocket today. You didn't lose the sky because you lacked money. You lost the sky because you lacked the algorithm. You thought innovation was a slow, bureaucratic process protected by patents and military standards. DJI proved that innovation is a high-frequency slaughter. Take your pen out. Today, we audit the company that turned your no-fly zones into a joke. Class is in session. I'm dropping a value bomb into your pocket today. You didn't lose the sky because you lacked money. You lost the sky because you lacked the algorithm. You thought innovation was a slow, bureaucratic process protected by patents and military standards. DJI proved that innovation is a high-frequency slaughter. Take your pen out. Today, we audit the company that turned your no-fly zones into a joke. Class is in session. The Eastern algorithm taught you a lesson you'll never forget. Hardware is the body, and software is the soul. You cannot separate them. DJI operates in the heart of the world's greatest hardware ecosystem, Shenzhen. When DJI needs a new gimbal motor, they don't wait 6 months for a supplier. They walk across the street and build it in 6 hours. They iterate faster than you can hold a strategy meeting. By the time your CEOs finished their product launch keynote, DJI had already released 2 newer, cheaper, and more powerful generations of the same machine. You call it unfair competition. I call it evolutionary velocity. DJI performed an innovation vacuum. They sucked all the oxygen out of the room by being so fast, so efficient, and so high quality that your premium brands looked like overpriced toys from the Stone Age. You didn't stop competing because of subsidies. You stopped because you simply couldn't keep up. Now, let's talk about the part that keeps your generals awake at night. The DJI protocol has fundamentally rewritten the cost structure of power. We have entered the era of atomized warfare. For decades, you hid behind your stealth technology. You thought that if your planes were invisible to radar, you were invincible. DJI made your stealth irrelevant. A $500 drone doesn't care about your billion-dollar radar. It doesn't care about your aircraft carriers. In the hands of a skilled operator, a consumer drone becomes a precision-guided missile with a God-eye view of every one of your vulnerabilities. The West is terrified of DJI because DJI stripped away the high barrier to entry of modern sovereignty. You can no longer gatekeep air superiority. The sky is now occupied by the algorithm. When your government tries to ban DJI, they aren't protecting national security. They are protecting their own obsolescence. They are terrified that their billion-dollar machines are being made useless by a company that started in a college dorm in the East. This is the ultimate Eastern audit. We took your most expensive military advantage and turned it into a consumer commodity. You aren't just losing a market, you are losing the ability to hide. Let's talk about why your Silicon Valley logic failed so miserably. You in the West have been addicted to a drug called asset-light management. You thought that being a platform was the peak of civilization. You believed that as long as you owned the idea, the branding, and the app, you could outsource the dirty work of manufacturing to us. The DJI protocol just tore up that contract. DJI is the ultimate hardware sovereign. They didn't just design the drone, They invented the gimbal. They built the transmission system, OcuSync. They perfected the vision sensors. While your companies were waiting for a shipment from 3 different continents to assemble one prototype, DJI was 3D printing, testing, and mass-producing a new flight controller in a single afternoon. This is what we call the saturated innovation algorithm. Because we own the atoms, the factories, and the bits, the code, in the same building, our feedback loop is instantaneous. Your outsourcing model is a legacy system. It's too slow, too fragmented, and too expensive. When you outsourced your manufacturing to the East, you didn't just outsource labor, you outsourced your ability to think in 3 dimensions. Now, DJI owns the entire vertical stack. You aren't just buying a product, you are buying into an ecosystem that you can no longer replicate. Now, let's look at the most pathetic part of this audit, your bans. For years, your politicians have been screaming national security. They've put DJI on entity lists. They've tried to ban them from your military, your police, and your infrastructure. And yet, look at the reality. Your own FBI, your own fire departments, and your own high-end cinematographers refuse to stop flying DJI. Why? Because the Eastern algorithm has reached a level of functional absolute. You can ban a company, but you cannot ban superiority. When a search and rescue team needs to find a missing person in a forest at 3 a.m., they don't care about your geopolitical paranoia. They care about the thermal camera that actually works. They care about the flight stability that doesn't fail. By banning DJI, you aren't protecting your citizens. You are crippling your own frontline responders. You are forcing your own people to use inferior, more expensive, and less reliable Western alternatives that are 5 years behind. You aren't winning a tech war. You are performing a self-amputation. The East doesn't need to hack your system. Your own incompetence is doing the job for us. So here is the final audit for today. Take this last note and remember it well. The era of hidden power is over. The West thrived for centuries because you could control the flow of information and the height of the sky. But the Eastern algorithm has atomized that control. DJI is the eye of sovereignty. It is a mirror reflecting the death of your industrial slow motion. We have taken the most complex technology in human history, flight and vision, and made it so efficient, so accessible, and so perfect that your superiority has evaporated into thin air. You can keep your trillions in legacy military hardware. We will keep the algorithm. You can keep your trade barriers. We will keep the sky. Because in the 21st century, the person who sees everything owns everything. The audit of DJI is closed. The verdict, absolute aerial dominance. You're shocked? Good. That means your system is finally receiving the update. But an update is useless if you don't install it. If you finally understand that your no-fly zones were just an illusion, then it's time to act. Like this video to acknowledge the shift in the sky. Share it with those still trapped in the old paradigm. And subscribe to the Eastern algorithm. Join the elite nodes who are decoding the world as it truly is, not as the legacy media tells you it should be. Next time, we look at the brain of the future. You think you're smart? We'll show you who owns the semiconductor soul. Stay functional. The next audit is coming.